Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com is proud to present Wrestle AM. It's time for another long overdue session of Stump the Idiot. Basically, this means this show is pretty much brought to you by, well, you, the Internet Infantry. You ask us the questions, and so me and Dave have compiled them all. We decided to sit down, and we're going to answer each and every one of them. But let's introduce everybody. You got the Coco crew here, the undisputed Internet Tag Team Champions, the Foundation Express. You got me, the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, live in beautiful Omaha, Nebraska. And, of course, joining me live there is Captain Japan himself, the man I'm trying to convince to watch Breaking Bad so he can do a character analysis for me, talking about Dave Kokotis. Good morning to you, Dave.
Hey, good morning, my fellow friends. Yeah, I don't watch much television. It takes a lot to get me to watch television, just because I love Lost and Futurama so much, and they're both off the air. And not only that, but they cancel shows so much. Like, it's like, wow, Heroes, Season 1 was amazing, Season 2 was so... What happened? You know, a book, you know, I'm reading right now, I'm reading Stephen King's 11-2-2-6-3, and I'm also reading, I'm reading a lot of books. But anyway, at least I know at the end of this monster of a book that there will be an ending. When you watch television, you don't know if you're getting that ending. So I think Breaking Bad is officially over, right?
Yeah, it's over. They went through 5 seasons, yes, so it's over.
And they have their official ending. It wasn't canceled. All right, so maybe I'll give Breaking Bad a chance. But
the last one I talked you into watching you liked, and that was Arrow, so...
Yeah, I did love me some Arrow, but I love some superhero action. And also, I want to say congratulations to Japan. Woohoo! Winning the World Cup. That's what happened, right? I stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning here because Japan won the World Cup, right? No. On a serious note, congratulations, Germany. So sad.
Yes, no, seriously, congratulations, Germany. Great win. I can't say that I enjoy the World Cup because I never watched one game. I think I watched 3 minutes grand total of the World Cup before I was ready to blow my fucking brains out. I'm sorry, I cannot get into soccer. I've tried to play. I've tried to play along. I've tried to play the good global citizen. Okay, the rest of the world likes it. Maybe I should give it a shot. Maybe it's being too narrow-minded, and I'm just watching it play. Oh, I'd rather watch fucking paint dry.
You want to hear something crazy, dude? I never thought I would do this. If you asked me as a New Jersey little boy at 8 years old, would I ever live in Tokyo and spend the whole day watching sumo and soccer and be happy, I would have thought you were insane. But that's what I did yesterday. Nothing but sumo and soccer, baby. All right, let's break these down. Let's hit these questions. We will hit the live comments, so if you want, throw in some questions down the live comments, and we'll hit them at the very end. All right, first one, just a little bit about us. We're breaking the ice. Brandielli says, can we get Booms, Rob, and Dave all on one show? Yeah, we would love that. The problem is, Booms works 900 billion hours a day. If he doesn't go to work, Nebraska becomes an island in a volcano. I don't know how, but that's what happens. And the second one is Rob can't watch Raw live, so it would have to be one of those random weekly shows. But our random weekly shows are getting more and more viewers, so we really appreciate that, Internet Infantry. So Boom Boom is always there for the flagship show. Rob can't be there for Raw. And the rest of the week, Boom Boom is keeping Nebraska safe from corn criminals. Is that pretty accurate? But once Boom Boom has free time and Rob has free time, I always have free time. I'm not a big winner at all. Once they both have free time, then we could probably hit them both up. But deep down inside, I'm pretty sure Boom Boom and Rob are going to put on sexy lingerie and try to win me over as the co-host. Stay tuned. All right.
About lingerie. I'm just showing up naked.
All right. Well, Rob, the ball's in your court now. All right. Title question. Title question. Here you go. Ralph from Facebook. Do we only like Brock Lesnar because Cena is champ? That's a loaded question. I never really hated Brock Lesnar. The only time I hated Brock Lesnar was when he walked out on New Japan with the title and made a stink about it with the IWGP title. Him walking out to try to be in the NFL, it didn't really bother me that much because, hey, people quit their jobs. Him beating the streak, that affected Boom Boom way more than it affected me. I was not ever a really big Undertaker fan, so it didn't affect me, but I did feel bad for Undertaker fans. Like, it's kind of like being at a funeral for your best friend's friend, but you really didn't know the friend that good. You feel bad for your friends, but you're like, yeah, I didn't know the fucker that good. So I wasn't a big fan of Undertaker. I like Brock Lesnar. I just think he's an amazing character as a human being. But yeah, I think John Cena being champ has a lot to do with it. I really do. I'm pretty sure if they said, do you want Kirby, Aquaman, Mario, or Yoshi, my kids' toys here, to be champion, we'd be like, yes, hell yeah. So, you know, John Cena's playing the great role of the heel. I hate my fucking life. Anyway, Booms, you got a little more emotional about Brock Lesnar being a part-timer, breaking the streak. Do you like Brock Lesnar now because, well, dun 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 is champion?
No, I have a love-hate relationship with Brock Lesnar. I hate the fact that he walked out on WWE when he did after they busted their ass to promote him. I hate him that he made people in Japan jump through all kinds of legal hoops and court battles to get him to wrestle for him to be able to wrestle in New Japan despite his no-compete clause. I hate that he walked out on the same company who busted their ass and went through legal hoops for him. I hate that he just, you know, he tried out for the Vikings and just after he didn't make the cut, he didn't make an effort to try again to get better. Now he's just like, oh, fuck it. I kind of liked him in UFC because I wanted to at least prove that professional wrestlers were legitimately tough and get some, particularly some MMA fans to shut the fuck up. That, you know what, these guys are, yeah, what they do is scripted and choreographed, but it doesn't make them any less tough or any less athletic. So I pulled for him for that. Then he said, okay, I'm coming back to professional wrestling. Okay, I liked him for that. I hated the fact that WWE bent over backwards to kiss his ass. I hate the fact that, you know, WWE spitting out the fucking nose to keep Lesnar around to wrestle maybe 4, 5, 6 times a year. Well, actually, probably about 4 times a year, make maybe grand total of like 10 appearances. And meanwhile, they're having to let people go. People are losing their fucking jobs. That kind of thing, rubs me the wrong way. But do I think we, like, and when I say we, I mean like the whole WWE universe and wrestling fans and a fan base here, only like him because John Cena is the champion? No, I think there is some, you know, aside from me and my personal thing, I think there is legit like of Brock Lesnar. I don't think it really matters. I think if Daniel Bryan's surgery hadn't happened, he hadn't gotten hurt, and he was going to come in and wrestle, I think people would still like him. I mean, he's a huge pay-per-view draw. I mean, that's why they've been over backwards to kiss his ass, or at least in their minds, he's a big pay-per-view draw. So I think John Cena has nothing to do with the like or dislike of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't hate Brock Lesnar as much as other people do, but I do believe him beating the streak was a huge shock, and I believe a lot of people hate John Cena, and they could send out anyone. I mean, I made a joke about a toaster. You can roll out a toaster to that ring, and we'll be rooting for him. And, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, get it, he's a heel, but he's not a heel. Listen to the commentary. Listen to how they promote him and all that. So, I don't know. It's just what it is. But, we'll see. SummerSlam comes Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. I wish we could just fast forward to WrestleMania. Nothing says you're doing a great job booking when super passionate fans are like, man, I just can't wait till we fast forward past WrestleMania. What is WrestleMania? Ain't it like 9 months away?
Yeah, it's going to be a while. It's like, yeah, 9 months.
So there you go. Let's fast forward to there. All right. Netta Jones, she asked tons of questions. We thank you so much for your questions. Here is our first question. Also have to do with Brock Lesnar. Do you think Brock Lesnar should come back and be more part of the show? Not like he is now, just making a couple appearances a year. Ooh, this is a tough question. Booms? Let you hit up.
Here's my thing. I think if you're going to spend that kind of money, he needs to fucking show up. If you're going to promote him, he needs to show up. He needs to do a little. I'm not saying he has to go on tour. I'm not saying he has to go wrestle house shows. I'm just saying he needs to be there instead of like pulling like Undertaker, showing up once a year or showing up once every or showing up quarterly and collecting like a massive paycheck and going bye bye. Just to me, I'm just like, is it really justifiable? I mean, is he really pulling in that much pay-per-view buys or WWE Network subscriptions? Is he really moving that much merchandise? Is he moving the ratings enough to justify it? And I'm like, if you're going to pay him that kind of money, I think you need to get your money's worth. And I really don't think WWE's getting their money's worth out of him. But that's just my opinion. It's just my humble opinion. Take it or leave it.
Understood, understood. All right, and I don't know. I got two parts of me. There's the part of me that says, I'm split down the middle. There's a part of me that agrees with Boom Boom, and he should be there, he should be working harder, and all that. But there's also a part of me that's kind of like, WWE treats their athletes so bad, and Brock Lesnar, because he risked it and became successful at something, can be a dick. There's something I like about that. I don't know. There's something I enjoy about it that maybe it's the fuck you to the man type thing, but they treated Brock Lesnar like crap. They had a big argument, and he comes back, and it's funny because like when WWE guys go to TNA kisses their ass. But if you do anything successful in entertainment or sports outside of WWE, they kiss your ass. And it's so funny because like Brock comes back and he's like, yeah, this is what the fuck I'm doing. You don't like it, I'm fucking going home. And there's something about that. There's something great, in my opinion, about that. So I would love to see him more often, but I don't know if I would want to see him wrestle. You just have him come out and do maybe a couple squash matches here and there. But I think what makes Brock Lesnar special now is Paul Heyman pumping him up, and then you got to see him on pay-per-view. And UFC, WWE, and the pay-per-view market all know that Brock Lesnar sells pay-per-views. And right now, with Bobby Lashley as champ in TNA and Brock Lesnar most likely the champ, the one thing about them being champs is you got to hide their weaknesses. And I think Brock Lesnar being out there every week, you can't hide his weaknesses. I mean, Paul Heyman does a great job of hiding his weaknesses. Only putting on pay-per-view hides his weaknesses. Because a lot of people said, oh, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar was amazing. And that's just not the case. Go back and watch it again. Amazing is not the word I would use. All right. Bam. Mark from Facebook. We got two comments here. Sting's cryptic tweet. Booms. Hit up Sting's cryptic tweet. What do you think it's about? Do you think
that's the thing. There's a lot of speculation behind that. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, all he tweeted was 7/14/14. That'll be tomorrow. Well, in the U.S., tomorrow's date, July 14, 2014. Now, there's a lot of speculation. There is the speculation that he's going to show up on Raw, and pretty much they're going to pretty much announce that he signed a Legends contract. There's more speculation that he's just only going to announce that he's going to be a part of WWE 2K15, so he'll be a playable character in the video game. And there's this one that just came out, and this is kind of out of left field. Jeff Jarrett made the same tweet, 7/14/14, and it could be a curveball. WWE may have the deal with WWE and Sting may have fallen through, and he may announce, Sting that is, that he is signed with Global Force Wrestling with Jeff Jarrett's promotion. So a lot of speculation on that. Now, if I had to guess, all of it seems plausible. I know that the priority of getting Sting in was kind of put on the back burner. They needed something like another bombshell later on. So this could be it. So that makes sense that he would sign a Legends contract and join WWE. They just, last week they just announced John Cena was on the cover of 2K15. They need to promote it. What better way than just to announce? Doesn't mean Sting's going to show up on Raw, the makeup, and just announce it. It could just be announced, hey, by the way, Sting's going to be a playable character in WWE 2K15. Or, he has a relationship with Jeff Jarrett. Him and Jeff Jarrett have a great working relationship. They work together in WCW. They work together in TNA. And Sting is one of those guys. He doesn't have to be in the WWE. In fact, he's like the only one of the few major players that has never, ever, in any capacity, at any point in his career, worked for WWE or Vince McMahon. And I
That's
know
recently he's done network interviews, so
he's
he
yeah,
got that.
but he has never actually physically gone out on Raw, never wrestled in a WWE ring, never. I mean, so outside of some interviews, I mean, that's it. I mean, that is absolutely it. So, what could it be? And when I say that, he's been pretty good with his money. He's got what me and Dave like to, lovingly refer to as "fuck you" money, and he's invested wisely. So I don't think he really needs it for a big payday. He may join Global Force Wrestling to help his buddy Jeff Jarrett get his new promotion off the ground. So who knows what it could be? If I had to guess, Jeff Jarrett, that kind of sways it towards Global Force Wrestling. But I think the safe bet would be that he'll be a playable character in WWE 2K15. That's my safe bet.
Yeah, I think it's just a video game promo. I think that's it. If you would, I could be. Hopefully they surprise us. Sting is up there. I love Sting before he turned into Crow. And after the Crow gimmick, I was never a fan of Sting. When I was a little lad.
I think the Crow gimmick necessarily wasn't bad. It was good for what it called for at the time. Hey, I was a little Stinger back in the day, and fuck you for judging me if you do. I was a huge little Stinger back in the day, and I remember chanting, "We want Sting, we want Sting," and I remember I was watching that Bash of the Beach pay-per-view. One of my friends bought it, and it was like me and like two other guys. We went over. It was I think his cousin had like a satellite. No, it was his older brother. Excuse me, older brother had like a satellite, so we ordered it. I mean, we all went to this house, had a little pool party beforehand, and we're watching this good pay-per-view. And I remember watching that turn by Hulk Hogan, and Sting was one of the people that got hurt, and Sting kind of disappeared. And I remember following the Monday Night Wars, and then he did the Crow gimmick. Now, granted, at the time, the Crow gimmick, the Crow thing was a little dated, even for that time. And I was like, but okay, this works. It makes sense. He never did anything. He just hid in the rafters for a year. And then once that whole storyline lapsed, I thought, okay, he's going to go back to being the blonde-haired Stinger, and he never did. And to me, I felt like that kind of ran it into the ground. So for a short time period, for that year, and when he got his revenge on the NWO, that would have been if he would have after he got his revenge on the NWO and everything got back to normal, if he would have went back to the regular Stinger gimmick, I think it would have been perfect. But it just drug out, and it just and it's just dated. I mean, that would be like me coming out with like some kind of like 70s gimmick. I mean, it's dated now, and it wouldn't be cool, and I just kept doing it. That's what it would be with me.
I didn't even go that. I just remember I was a huge Sting fan. Clash of Champions 1, Sting versus Ric Flair, and they're like, "Oh, here comes the new Sting," and I'm like, "Holy shit! What the fuck is that?" Like, that was it. It was over. I tore my Sting posters down from my wall, and it's gonna be the video.
Yeah, I know. I was there.
It's gonna be the video game. Boo has a time travel machine, and he uses it to see me break down when Sting turns into fucking Crow.
You wore the lips off that poster, Dave. I know you were heartbroken.
It's just I was done. I was done being a little Stinger. I went 4 horsemen for life. All right. You want to go some live comments, or you want to just keep going? Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Mark,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Mark from Facebook says Punk's other projects. What do you think? Do you think, because there's rumors that that they have in their contract that if you don't work enough days, like Punk and Mysterio, that they can add time to your contract. But according to the same people that say that on the internet, WWE is like, yeah, we're not going to bother. The guy fucking hates it here. What's the point? So
exactly.
CM Punk most likely a free agent. When you have the date, sir? When is CM Punk?
Yeah, it will be on Tuesday, July the 15th, 2014. When his contract officially lapses or expires, excuse me. But he did write on Twitter this weekend. He said, starting a band, a podcast, and a fire. One of these is true. Okay, too. So it's looking like he's ready to move on now. As you did mention, WWE does have the option to add like an extra 6 months onto his contract. I know that they did that with Mysterio when he was out with a knee injury. In fact, I think they're still doing that with him. But I agree with you. I'm thinking the whole word backstage is that, at least the rumors are that, what's the point? We tack on 6 months. He's still not going to show up. We're not paying him anyway. What's the point? Let's just go ahead and let him go. I know some people had speculated since AJ was back that Punk's return was imminent. Unless he pops up tomorrow in some kind of miracle Hail Mary, honestly, I think he's done. And if he's completely done, to all you fucking assholes on the fucking internet who got so fucking arrogant, who turned up your fucking noses and said, well, you fucking idiots, it's a work. It's totally a work. He'll be back for WrestleMania. Okay, well, WrestleMania is come and gone. You idiots. I mean, can't you see him getting fucking worked? He's going to wait for the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Well, he's still not back. In fact, AJ's gone too. You idiots! They're gonna go get married. He's taking some time off. As soon as she comes back, he is good as it. Well, she's back, and he's still. You idiots! He's gonna be back in time for SummerSlam. Well, his contract is actually expiring before SummerSlam, so I don't think these. So let me ask you this, assholes: is it still a fucking work now? Are we so fucking stupid now? Are we all getting fucking worked? Are we so goddamn gullible now? Huh?
The funny part is that people will use the work for anything. And the best example is if a pro wrestler slips on his ass in a patch of ice and no one's around to see it, he still calls it a work. He's like, it was a work. You know what? One thing that I think makes our show different than other YouTubers is if we're wrong, we eat the crow. If we're wrong, we come on. There's been shows where I've come on and said, oh, we're wrong. I absolutely despise that about other YouTubers. Like, Bray Wyatt's going to get his. Tons of YouTubers said that. Where were you? Where are you? Where are you now? Oh, you just pretend you didn't say that shit? So your words mean nothing. Yeah, keep being positive, kids. I don't know. People get mad. Like, CM Punk shows up tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I guess I was wrong. Fucking, there you go. You know what I mean? But I don't understand, like, people that are so positive yet deny being wrong so much. Like, it's so funny, like, people turn on a webcam and they're like, oh, we don't see that as a conversation. I see it as that I'm an expert. Like, no, you're not a fucking expert. You just have a webcam on you, and people enjoy the conversation that you're having back and forth. I don't know. I just get very angry at stuff like that. So, all right, let's lighten up the mood a bit. Everyone asked this question, and Booms, you hit it up a little bit earlier, but we'll hit it up there because it leads to another question. Thoughts on the World Cup? Booms, you want to tap out on this one?
Look. I mean, people like soccer. I understand it. I understand it's a huge event. It's like hell to get to the World Cup. I understand that. There's a lot of national pride, but I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't think it's exciting. I am bored. It's fucking senseless watching this. The attention is more so on the crowd than they are the action on the field. And I understand maybe if I had grown up with it, it would be different had I actually really I played soccer one time when I was like 8, okay? And after that I was just like, okay, that's soccer. And that's as far as it went. And I watched a lot of people get excited about it, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I can't. I just can't get excited, but hey, congratulations to the Germans. I mean, wholeheartedly, man, congratulations. They worked really hard to get to this championship game. Congratulations to Brazil. They hosted a great World Cup. A lot of people were involved with it. A lot of great matches. A lot of things people were talking about. And and people are like, oh, would you be saying that at the U.S.? I mean, dude, the USA could have won the damn thing, and I don't think anybody would. Well, there's a few people, but for the most part, the rest of the nation would have cared.
That's what soccer crazy.
Yeah.
For me, I enjoyed the World Cup. It's just I'm sad because Japan should have done a lot better. I'm happy for America. You guys got excited. I've been to over 30 different countries, and I live in Tokyo now, and people outside of America absolutely love soccer. It's my son's favorite sport. My son is really good at it. Like, they even have a song for him. Do you want to hear Max's song? His Japanese.
Yes, actually, yes, I would.
And the best part is, because he's half American, they sing it in English. How cool is that? Well, here it goes. Let me see if I can remember it. All right. Hiroki, he's our hero and the key to win. And they sing it like crazy, and this motherfucker scores goals like crazy. He's like the Deion Sanders of fucking soccer. But yeah, he's really, really good at it, and that's what got me into it. But the only thing I don't like is just
your son would be better at soccer if all those girls weren't trying to kiss him.
Yeah, true story. My son is way better looking than me. Thank Terry Funk for that. But yeah, no, he scores like 4 or 5 goals a game, and like they just sing the song. So there you go. I actually really heartbroken about Japan. I was a little interested in the USA. It's kind of like I'm over my ex-girlfriend. I'll wish her luck. Brazil got destroyed, and dude, I don't like soccer that much, but I really enjoyed the memes. I don't know why. The Brazil-Germany memes were fucking hilarious. And I stayed up last night to watch the World Cup, and I never thought I'd do that. So, yeah, congratulations, Germany. And I actually like soccer a lot. It's just, growing up being a hockey fan, I just can't take the flops. I just can't. Like, I like soccer more and more, or football, but I live in Japan, and I'm American, so we call it soccer in both places. But I love, soccer more and more every day. But as soon as a motherfucker flops, I just look to my left, I look to my right, I'm like, I don't know, it just ruins everything. I just wish they could do something about that, but I guess that's part of the game. But yeah,
in other good news, we've got about roughly 50 days to the beginning of college football season, which is the absolute best fucking time of the year. Just throw that out.
I'm more of an NHL fan. I travel, like when you travel the world, you go different places and you like the sports that people around you like just because you can have a conversation. Like example, in North Carolina and Florida, not many people talk about the NBA. And now I really just don't even like the NBA. In North Carolina, everyone loves NASCAR, so I watch NASCAR. In Japan, sumo, soccer, baseball, and all that. But when you travel around the world, you go from place to place. You find out what sport is truly your favorite. And I always thought that my favorite sport was the NFL. But no, it has to be NHL. Because NHL, I still go out of my way to watch the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New Jersey Devils. So I'm probably outside of combat sports. I love me some NHL. All right, let's get back to Facebook question and thing. This is a little bit pro wrestling, so we're gonna get back into it. We're easing back into pro wrestling. A pro wrestling Q&A question should have pro wrestling in it. Thomas from Facebook says, bravo, that is the best way to start any question. If the pro wrestling, I tip my hat. Best way to start any question. If the pro wrestling had a World Cup, who do you think would win, and how would you rank the countries? Oh, that is tough. That is tough. I guess it would just depend on your style. Obviously, Mexico, if you prefer lucha, Japan would be there. I mean, it would be Japan, Canada, America, and Mexico, with probably a run-in from England every now and then. I'm sure those would be our powerhouse teams. And I guess it just depends on the style. Who's judging it? If I'm judging it, probably pro wrestling wins or lucha. If an entertainment fan's winning, probably America. If a traditional technical wrestler, probably Canada. So it really depends on the judging. Goddamn judge, ruin everything. Who do you think would win World Cup? They go out there, because we've talked about this in the Olympics too.
If you're talking nation-wise, I think Japan wins it outright. I think maybe the Canadians come in a close second. The Americans would probably at best finish third, and definitely in Mexico and UK, I'm not saying they're bad, but I think they would be scrapping it out there.
Well, it also depends on the judge, because you also have to go with difficulty. Like, are they going to go with difficulty of moves? Because if you're judging this,
you're talking about like a competition, kind of like Olympic style, where where people from the same country put on a match with each other, or are you talking about you just throw everybody in together and like you have an American wrestler versus a Canadian wrestler?
No, because it's spoiler, it's predetermined. If wrestling ever became a World Cup type event or entered the Olympics, it would be judged like gymnastics. So you'd have to get crowd interaction, and I guess it would just depend what they're looking for. Because I imagine if it was difficulties of moves, Japan and Mexico would have a huge advantage. Huge advantage. If you do crowd reaction, technical wrestling, I don't know. So I'm saying it's all up to the judges, but I think those are the five.
If it's up to crowd reaction, I give the Canadians and the British, definitely give them the edge. They've got the best fucking fans in the world, and I stand by that statement.
I don't know if Thomas wanted us to really answer it that seriously.
We totally.
I wonder if he didn't want us to answer the question as seriously as we did. All right. Anthony Hunt says, all right, Anthony Hunt. We had this conversation in the things. I had this conversation. Anthony Hunt says, I think Cena is champ because they want to give him one title run for his Hall of Fame push. Also, WWE wants Lesnar versus Cena at SummerSlam. TNA is surpassing WWE Lashley versus Jeff Hardy for the title. Good move. I want Rollins to cash in, hoping SummerSlam. What do you think? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, Anthony, let me break his question down for you. I think Cena is champ because they want to give him one title run for his Hall of Fame push. No. I mean, the guy he could retire from wrestling right now, right this second. I mean, just boom, you know what, guys, I'm calling it a career. Boom, just quits out of the blue tomorrow, and he's still in the Hall of Fame. I mean, the guy has won virtually everything you can win in professional wrestling. I think the only thing he has not done, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he's ever held the tag team titles, and I don't believe he's won King of the Ring. I think those are the only two things he has not accomplished, but everything else. He's been the Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion. He's been the World Heavyweight Champion. He's been the WWE Champion. He's won the Royal Rumble. He's main evented WrestleMania. He's done Elimination Chamber. He's done Money in the Bank. He's done virtually everything you can do. So, giving him one more. I mean, I think the only reason he's holding the belt right now is because WWE Creative got scared and hit the reset button. They had to go back with something they knew that worked, so they made him champ again. Because of this, he's this much closer to surpassing Ric Flair's record.
I think he has won the tag team title. Because I just put it there, and yeah, I think he won it with Batista when they were passing the titles around like candy.
I don't remember that, but, again, I could be wrong. I never remember him holding tag team going. Now, that may have been really, really early in his career, but I remember when he got his singles push, they started him out as the U.S. champion, and they eventually, grew him from there. But I don't ever remember at any point him co-holding the tag belts. But, again, I could be wrong. The other thing here is, they're pushing for Lesnar versus Cena at SummerSlam. Mark my words, that's going to happen. That's going to be the main event. TNA is surpassing WWE with Lashley versus Jeff Hardy for the title. I think it's a very good move. I don't think it's a good move because I'm not a huge fan of either. And for those of you who are saying that TNA doesn't copy WWE, think about that. Eric Young was their Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan drops the belt. Eric Young drops it, and now they're going to start and there's a pretty good chance that Brock Lesnar is going to be pushed. Well, who do they bring in? An ex-WWE guy who's a former MMA fighter, or I think he's currently a part-time MMA fighter, Bobby Lashley. All right, and then I want Rollins to cash in at SummerSlam. I don't think he's going to cash in at SummerSlam. I think he's going to wait till the fall because they're going to need – because I think the hot feud – they're going to use to sell SummerSlam will be Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Once that finally cools off, I think you'll have Seth Rollins cash in. Right now, I think they're doing a good job. They're having it plausible for why Rollins can't cash in. It's because Dean Ambrose is haunting him. He's behind him. He's like always one step right there behind him. He's in the shadows, and that's the only reason why Rollins isn't champion. I think what's going to happen, it's going to be lame, but I think eventually they'll get to like a pay-per-view. They'll literally lock Ambrose in a closet so he can't come out and stop Rollins from cashing in. Cena will get beat up successfully defending the title, and a la Edge back at New Year's Revolution. Boom, he'll cash in the title, win it right there.
Gotcha. I think Cena is champ. No, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope this is the end of the John Cena era. I hope he goes in the Hall of Fame. I hope you're right. I see John Cena wearing a 20-year T-shirt. I see him surpassing Ric Flair by 10 title runs. I don't see John Cena slowing down anytime soon. You know, and for people that support John Cena, that's great for you, but for the rest of us, that's horrible. I hope, you know, if John Cena retires this year and goes into the Hall of Fame, I'd be happy. I would even friggin' support him going into the Hall of Fame. But I don't see it that way. I see him around for another 10 plus years, without a doubt. I mean, he doesn't risk anything. Yeah, so no, I see him. Let's see, Lesnar versus Cena at SummerSlam's going to happen. We know that. WWE copying TNA, blah, blah, blah. I think they copy off each other too much. I really do. I want Rollins to cash in, open SummerSlam. What do you think? I don't know. I think he'll hold on to that for a real long time. He's not going to cash it in on John Cena. And this is just my opinion. This ain't facts. I think he's going to hold on to it for a really long time. I don't see him cashing it in on Brock. Maybe, you know, and this is just my theory, maybe he cashes it in on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. If Roman Reigns beats Brock, then he comes in and cashes it. That's it. That's a huge possibility. And Anthony Hunt, is that a Terrell Owens Eagle jersey you're wearing? If it is, mad props. All right. Netta Jones asked us 3 questions in a row, so we will try to get some live comments to keep the live commenters happy. Rob asked if you want to do a weekend review. We will be doing a weekend review soon. Boo, if you want to join us, you can, but I don't know if you can stay up that late. All right, and he says he watched Total Divas, but he's not going to keep watching it. Just tell him that. And then he said, Sting is WWE 2K5. Player dies! Oh, man. Live comments. I see this comment all the time that WWE is racist and a horrible company. If that is the case, why do you support WWE? Isn't that hypocritical? Your hero Prince dies. Yeah, but listen, I'm a history teacher. What country are you from? If you're from America, do you still support America? Do you? I don't know. I support all pro wrestling, and yeah, they are a racist company. I don't think they're a horrible company, but yeah, they're definitely a racist company. But yeah, why do you support? Do you celebrate 4th of July? Do you celebrate what? Tell me any country. Don't fuck with a history teacher. I'm fucking retired. Tell me, do you support America? None. Enough said. You know, actually, I don't support WWE money-wise when John Cena's champ, and I do give him shit, but, you know, it's so weird because, like, WWE is a monopoly. I just can't picture not fucking attacking them, not supporting them, not, you know, not even supporting them, but fucking calling them out for their shit. You know, it's kind of like the argument of, oh, if you don't like America, leave. Okay, well, I left. Fucking, I don't get it. Like, how's that going to fucking solve the problem? Yeah, but it's up to you. I know a lot of my friends in St. Petersburg, especially, I don't know, let's just, African-American. I hate using that term, African-American, but my African-American friends in St. Petersburg stopped watching it. So I guess it just depends on you, you know? But to say, oh, you support that, well, read your fucking history book. I'm pretty sure you fucking, and it depends, and that's the best part. I'm a world history teacher. Player dies, you ain't from America, tell me. I'll tell you. I just think it's a monopoly, and we want to change it. You know, steal a line from the great philosopher CM Punk. You can't change WWE from the couch of in Chicago. You have to do it yelling at a webcam. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever said in the world. Minus 100 points for me. But no, you got to call people out on that shit, and that's it. So yeah, I had tickets to WWE, and yeah, I didn't. I just gave them away. I didn't bother supporting. I got free tickets and just gave them away. So I don't know. It depends how you look at it. I mean, because if that's the way, you're those people that, just leave the country, fuck them. But think about it. If that's the case, think of how bad any country in the world. I always pick on America because I just assume everyone's from America. But think of any country in the world. Yeah, you support your country blindly, most of you. And yeah, if you knew what your country did, that's why most history teachers fucking hate everyone. The more you learn about history, the more you hate everyone. You ever wonder why your history teacher, or a good history teacher, fucking walks in, he's like, fucking human beings, here's your fucking test, study, George Washington, yeah, cherry tree, go fuck yourself. You ever wonder why they're angry? Because they fucking know the truth. Yeah, so no, I think bitching about it, calling them out on it is the only way to change it. I think not watching it, they're just going to be like, they're just going to keep it as it is, and that's not helping the cause. So, I mean, if you don't want to support it because they're racist, then go for it. But
give me the hot tag. Give me the hot tag. You're floundering.
All right. Well, I was going to go to the next question, but hot tag.
Hot tag. Look, Player Dies, I don't think we're hypocritical for supporting it, but, Dave did make a point. You're not. Here's my thing. I'm from the Deep South. I know all about racism, segregation, Jim Crow laws. I grew up, learning about all that stuff. All that stuff was long gone by the time I was a kid, but it was part of the culture at the time. And stuff didn't get changed by people going, well, that's just wrong, and just keeping their mouth shut and going, just okay. No, it took people confronting it head on to change things. And I think that's what Dave and I are doing. We're pointing that out. We ridicule that. We say that, hey, there's a reason why Titus O'Neil really is, his push is kind of floundering, you know what I mean? There's just something about him, maybe even Kofi Kingston, of why they can't really get that major push. So Dave and I are criticizing it, and we're confronting it head on, and I think that's the only way you're going to get things to change. Maybe, and okay, we're two jagoffs on fucking webcams yelling about this shit. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. But if we're just two people and then two more people do it, there's four, and then four, that doubles 8, and so on and so forth, and keeps going into a movement and going, hey, in WWE, they're PG now. They're a publicly traded company. Pretty soon, some of that stuff, word may get to WWE or their stockholders and go, hey, what's this we hear about you? People accusing you of being a racist company, of not pushing minorities, or only having white superstars be the champion, or have, blacks are only relegated to certain types of gimmicks and spots on the card. They're going to get the, WWE will probably take that under advisement, go, well, no, we're not racist, and they'll try to, and they'll try to cite everything here, but we have to, get them on their heels, and the way we're going to do that is we point that out and confront it head on. That's the only way you're going to generate change. Now, Yakuza's had put in here, there's been about 44 WWE champions and 0 black WWE champions. Yakuza's technically you're half right. And the reason I say you're half right is I have looked this up. If you count The Rock, I understand, and I understand I'm splitting hairs here, but The Rock is biracial. He's half Samoan, half African American. If you count The Rock, then there's one. There's one. However, if you don't, then you are correct. There has been no African American WWE champion.
Hey, can I just add something, sir?
Yeah.
Listen, we're not delusional, but listen, we know that our voice is heard by a couple people. And if that convinces a couple more people to talk about it, and a couple more people to talk about it, that's great. And that's still not going to change. But mainstream media, which me and Boom Boom used to work for, they want to cover stories that other people will share, like, and talk about. And the fact that went on the Facebook page, they signed Kenta, and everyone called them out on it. mainstream media did a story, is WWE racist? Well, that all started. They would never have wrote that story if it wasn't for people talking about it. They need to share that content. They need to go. And WWE cares about their image so much that something on a Facebook wall and people repeating it over and over and over again got a mainstream media outlet to cover it. Now WWE will listen. So, yeah, no, you can't just be like, oh, there's a problem, let's just fucking ignore it and go somewhere else. It just doesn't fucking work that way. Bam. All right, let's go. Player Dice spelled his name wrong. Bam. Oh, fucking cynical. Will you do Total Diva reviews each week going forward with the new season? That's wrong.
Yes, you will, Dave Kokotis.
No, I won't. Boom, boom.
Network, you could do more shows. It'd be great.
Boom, boom. If you want, I hate you. If you want, boom, boom, I'll let you be the Total Divas guy. We'll bring back the Boom Boom Room. No, I refuse to watch it. I made the mistake of watching Legends House, and I'm good. Ex-Yakuza says, absolutely not. This is a title question. Brock Lesnar's my favorite of all time and has been since he defeated The Rock at SummerSlam 2002. I think fans saying CM Punk is a work aren't saying it because they think you're stupid and not thinking it's a work. It is just a way to be in denial about it. I'd rather believe it's a work than YouTube. All right, let's go. I'm going to fix the YouTube comments. Booms. Here's the second question. You drive the bus while I fix YouTube comments. This is from Netta Jones, okay? You're going to drive the bus, Booms, okay? Do you think the Authority is tired of Randy Orton? Because I've noticed they seem to be liking and wanting Seth Rollins to win and do more for them than Orton. Booms, you drive the bus while I fix comments.
Do I think the Authority is tired of Randy Orton? No, I think it's just all part of the storyline. They're setting things up where, remember, Randy Orton was their hand-picked champion. He was, he's the guy they screwed over Daniel Bryan to make the champion. He held the belt going into WrestleMania. And I think the thing is what they're doing with him is they're kind of having dissension in the rank. Essentially, it's they're upset with him because he couldn't get the job done. He couldn't completely run Daniel Bryan out. He couldn't get the belt off of him. He couldn't, he fucked up things. So they went to other people. So they went to Kane. So then now they've had to pick up Seth Rollins because remember when he was a part of Evolution, they couldn't beat the Shield. They got clean swept by the Shield. And so, of course he's coming back on the back burner, and he's showing his ego there. So, yeah, I think it's just part of the storyline. I don't think it's anything personal or anything. The creative is like, well, we don't like this guy, we're not going to push him. I think it's just part of the storyline is, he's kind of fallen out of favor because he was the hand-picked guy. He couldn't get the job done, so they brought in other people. And he's being like a squeaky wheel. He's letting his ego come out. Now, we saw that a little bit on this past Monday Night Raw. Remember with him, Kane, and Seth Rollins all speaking backstage, speaking about the Money in the Bank briefcase and, the stuff being best for business. So, no, I don't think he's actually fallen out of favor. I just think storyline-wise, he's fallen out of favor. So if that makes sense to anybody. Dave, have you gotten caught up on the questions yet?
Yeah, I'm caught up on the questions. The only thing I want to add to that is I agree with Boo Boo 100%, and I think the fans not liking Randy Orton has a tiny bit of a factor. It's not a major factor like changing the main event, but I think this storyline has a little bit of a factor in that. All right, back to questions. I think fans saying CM Punk is a work aren't saying it because they think you are stupid for not thinking it's work. It's just that they are in denial about it. I'd rather believe it's a work and hold out hope that he'll be back than just accept he's gone. It makes me an asshole, so be it. It doesn't make you an asshole unless, of course, you act like an expert on fucking webcam. You're like, that's our fucking work, and you talk down to other fans. I don't know. So I try my hardest, and it's very hard. Sometimes you get emotional and you get caught up, but I try my hardest not to talk down to fans. And it seems like not enough YouTubers do that. Bam, we already answered that one. I put $20 on Japan to win the World Cup after they scored their first goal against Ivory Coast. Unfortunately, that was the last goal of the World Cup. That was from Ex-Yakuza. Ex-Yakuza, what? You want me to break down? You want me to break down and cry? Do you want me to break down and cry? I'll do it, Ex-Yakuza. All right, player dice. Oh, this is fun. since you guys are talking about sports, I guess I'll share my favorite teams in sports. NHL Red Wings, NFL Lions, Major League Baseball Tigers, NCAA football Notre Dame. And yes, Booms, I can't wait for college football. I like it more than pro. I love college football. I just can't get past the championship. If you could be a 5-year senior and be undefeated and not have a chance at the championship, that fucking burns my ass way too much. They have to do a better system for the championship. But besides that, but I'd rather be an NFL guy. Go ahead, Booms. NFL or college? I think you already answered.
Definitely a college guy through and through. You know, I realized how bad my problem had gotten when I was actually in college, and I was itching for football season to start. I think it was 2007, I want to say. And it was like the Thursday night, really before like the first official, the first games were supposed to start, but they were doing like some, not a preseason, but they were doing some early game. I think it was like Central Michigan versus like Toledo. It was something like that. And I was like, and I sat there and almost watched that entire ball game. And my girlfriend at the time was just like, who are these teams? You don't know who these guys, you don't pull for any of these guys, for only any of these guys. I'm like, no, I want to watch this. This is college football. It's college football. And there would be days, back when I lived by myself, that's all I would do on Saturday. I'd wake up, watch the early game on ESPN, channel surf, go through CBS, ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and I would just literally cram and watch, multiple games. Like sometimes, 3 full games and channel surf on a few more throughout the day. Yeah, I love college football.
All right, let's list off our favorite teams. NCAA, I have a lot. The Florida Gators, USF, Rutgers, Hawaii. All right, maybe I don't have that many, but I don't watch anyone but my favorite teams. Like if it's number 1 and 2 and it's Tennessee versus Ohio State, I don't give a shit. So I only watch Rutgers, Princeton. I grew up in New Jersey. Rutgers, Princeton, South Florida, and Hawaii because I used to live out there. I don't know if I watch anyone else, but those are my favorite teams. I know that's kind of a bullshit answer, but like I said, if my favorite team isn't playing, I just probably don't watch it. Booms, your favorite NCAA football team?
Oh, it's easy. It's my alma mater, Troy University.
All right, and the real college that you like? Yeah, I went to USF, and so that's why I like USF. But
yeah, I know you're a Florida Gator fan, but that's okay, Dave. Nobody's perfect.
I do love the Gators. All right, Major League Baseball. I like the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. I don't think that's a secret. And in Japan baseball, the Giants. Do you have a favorite Major League Baseball team?
Not really. I know that growing up in Alabama, we didn't have our own Major League team, so the nearest one we had was Atlanta. So growing up as kids, we've always pulled for the Atlanta Braves. Now that I moved out here to Omaha, a lot of people pull for Kansas City out here, so I've been following Kansas City a little bit more than what I normally would.
All right, so not much in baseball. All right, let's see what else we got. NFL. I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks guy. The powerhouse that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Your favorite NFL team? But I don't know, do you even have a favorite NFL team?
I really don't have a favorite NFL team. Like, my girlfriend absolutely loves Peyton Manning, so she pretty much pulls for any team that Peyton Manning's on. Yeah, she pulled for the Colts when he was in Indianapolis, but when he went over to Denver, we've got Denver Broncos shit in the house now, so take it for what you will.
All right, and NHL. Booms, do you watch NHL? Do you have a favorite NHL team?
I have no idea of the sport you call hockey.
I have the biggest secret that I've been holding back my whole fucking life, and I really do try to keep it a secret. I try to keep it a secret.
You're a New York Rangers fan.
No, fuck you. I'll fucking stab you right in the asshole. What a weird threat that was. I actually love 2 hockey teams way too much, and when they play each other, it feels like 2 kids playing each other, and I don't know who to root for. And a lot of people are like, no, you only like this team, you only like this team, and I keep it a dark secret. And the worst part is they're both in the same, division. They're both in the Eastern Conference. But you know what? This is Internet Infantry. This is Stumped Idiot. I'm coming out of the closet. I like 2 Eastern Conference teams so much, and I don't have a favorite. It's the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New Jersey Devils. I love both of them with all my heart, and it kills me. Like, I honestly, when they play each other, I feel like a parent watching their kids go at it. If they ever play each other in the playoffs, I might get sick. I might get sick to my stomach. And I know you're only supposed to like one team in hockey. I just grew up in New Jersey and fell in love, and I have two families. I don't tell the New Jersey Devil people I like the Lightning, and I just keep saying it's business trips. Like, I'm just going to New Jersey for business, baby. Man, that Tampa account will never close. I'm a dirty two-timing whore. But yeah. And then, of course, basketball. I'm actually in the business. I am looking for a new basketball team. I love the Nets, but I can't support someone in Brooklyn. The Magic just don't do it for me. And my favorite team of all time is the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls, what Steve Kerr, the great team. I mean, I reference that team more than anything. Like, I'll be at work, like, all right, you're Steve Kerr, you're Scottie Pippen, Grant, blah, 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 you know. And I love that Chicago Bulls team. But as far as my favorite team, I don't think I have a favorite team. New Jersey went to Brooklyn. I ain't supporting that. Fuck you, Dr. Jay-Z fucking McMuffins. I'm pretty sure that's not who bought the Nets. But anyway, I don't even think that's a real person. But some musician bought the Nets and brought them to Brooklyn. And I know he's not the only one to blame. He has a small percentage. But you know what? If I want to blame DJZ fucking Muffin Tops, I will. And Orlando Magic, I try to root for them, but really, it's hard. It's difficult. So I am shopping around. I am a free agent NBA fan, unlike the LeBron James. I wish.
Oh, so you're going to Cleveland now?
Might as well. Who gives a shit? But I do like basketball. I just don't have a favorite team. So not having a favorite team kind of feels weird in basketball. All right, Booms, you ready? Live comments or start back on the list?
Let's go ahead and start back on our list. Let's get through this.
All right. Netta Jones asks, do you think a heel turn would help John Cena? This is our third question.
Okay, I'm getting the jar out now. I'm officially starting a jar. I've already got 2 jars going. Every time that Dave mentions Awesome Calm, I gotta put a quarter in a jar. Then I've got another jar every time that Dave mentions Okada, managed by Ric Flair. I have to put another jar. I have to put a quarter in. Now, thanks to you, Internet Infantry, this will be the 3rd jar. Anytime anybody talks about John Cena in a heel turn, I'm putting a quarter in the fucking jar.
Well, put a quarter in the jar. I'll answer this. We've answered it a lot. Don't be nice to Netta Jones. She's over here asking us questions. Don't be a bully. Be a star. I think, my personal opinion, it's way too late. I think it would be a huge risk. I mean, I don't see it ever happening. There's too much charity work. It's gone too long. And then when he becomes heel now, I don't think he'll get the reaction that everyone is dreaming he will get. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking it's way too late and it's not even in the playbook anymore. All right. Booms, you think he'll ever turn heel?
No.
All right. Netta Jones, 4th question, last question. Netta Jones, thank you so much for all your questions. We've answered this a bunch, too, so we'll try to keep it short. Okay, I'm asking this because I just got back into watching wrestling this past year. That was because of the Shield. Wow, you and Rob. I don't know if you're single, Netta, but you and Rob would have the best Shield family going ever. The last time I watched wrestling was the late 80s. My question is, why do people hate John Cena so much? Why is he so polarizing? There's so many answers. We answered one. This is just my answers. There's probably a million answers. One, I think his character is broken. I don't see him as an underdog. He's invincible. I just wish they made him have more human qualities. 2 is he hasn't changed for a really long time. 3, he shoved something down the throat. 4, there's a bunch. I mean, I can go on all day, but I feel like we're repeating ourselves. But yeah, if you haven't watched wrestling and you come back and like, why does everyone hate this guy? I completely understand. But if you struggle through this all the years going, then yeah, we're going to hate it. There's a long list. But I think the major ones is there's flaws in his character. He gets everything handed to him. No one really enjoys that. So I know Player Dies loves John Cena, but I think Player Dies is probably younger. I wonder if Player Dies is seen from John Cena from day one. I wonder. But yeah, I just think I have a rule, and I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more times. Maybe I'll put it on a t-shirt. I believe the best wrestler who connects with the crowd should be champion. I don't think John Cena ever, even in his prime, was that. Booms, do you want to add anything? Or you just want to put your...
Just put the bow on it. It's just, look, it's not that we hate John Cena. It's just that the way he's booked makes us hate him. Is because if you watched wrestling 10 years ago and then watched it now, nothing has changed with John Cena. In fact, it's just always the default character. He's booked as Superman, that he has, no weaknesses, no human qualities. He just gets beats up, he hits a fireman's carry slam, and then boom, he wins. And nobody else is given a chance. He makes everybody look bad. Anybody that he gets near, their fucking career fucking crumbles. And it's just heartbreaking because they won't give anybody else a chance, and when they do, then they complain, well, we don't have anybody else to replace John Cena, so of course he needs to be the champion. Of course he needs the main event because nobody else can do it. Well, yeah, because you let him fucking bury everybody else that he gets around.
There's two things I want to add. Some people take John Cena's hate a little too far, like wishing an injury or wishing death on the guy. That's a bit far, But also, I think some people, and I really mean, especially the Facebook crowd, I really think people hate pro wrestling passionate fans. That's why we always say it's okay to be a passionate fan. I think people hate pro wrestling passionate fans, and that's why they like John Cena. I don't think people that like John Cena, yeah, there's some, but I honestly think there's more people just defending him because they hate passionate fans. I believe that on Facebook. I really do believe that because at the end of the day, there's so many people that are positive, and especially on YouTube and people I've met, and they'll defend John Cena. And when I look him in the fucking eye and I'm face to face and I say, is he a good wrestler? Is he entertaining? They always say no. And, your number one face shouldn't be a damsel in distress. And that's what it is. Let's be completely honest. Why does Player Dice come and leave comments? Because he feels John Cena needs to be defended. But I wonder if he really enjoys it. All these people that are positive, they just are kissing ass to WWE and the new generation because they don't know any better. And I would rather just be honest and have a debate, have a conversation. But today's internet isn't like that. Let me tell you something. Sit down, grandpa time. Back in the day when the internet first came out, people would argue and have points and want to learn. Nowadays, we have the Facebook Reddit generation where if someone has a different opinion, you don't have a conversation and argue. You just go away. And that kind of defeats the purpose of how great the internet is. I don't understand it. Why not just have one place where you can talk and have different opinions? I don't know. But, all right, this is getting too deep. 2 more questions, then we're going back to live comments.
Okay.
This is mostly for you because I did a huge video on it. Shundell Hall asked us, big Japanese pro wrestling fan, asked us, how do you feel about Kenta in WWE? I just did like a 20-minute plus video on it. I'll sum it down in one sentence. I am really worried, but I am rooting for him. I am really worried what WWE will do for him, but I'll be rooting for him. If WWE messes this up, I will be very heartbroken. Booms! How do you feel about Kenta in WWE?
It's a good move. I wish him the best of luck, but I know when they're past track with foreign superstars, I'm not going to get my hopes up.
And you know what? WWE right now has some of the best wrestlers in the world under contract. So hopefully that makes the future look bright. Funny question, I guess, maybe. Jason Rex, congratulations. Just had a baby, and we did a Q&A, I think earlier this week or last week. I don't know. The shows are starting to run together. Of his 5 questions. But he had one more. Who looks like they smell worse? I thought it was going to be me and Boom. The Wyatt family or the Godwins? All right, Booms. You're the type of guy who judges people by appearance and how they would smell. Who do you think smells worse? The Wyatt family or the Godwins? And I'm not so judgmental on smell as Boom Boom because I've met sumo wrestlers. And not a lot of people know this. sumo wrestlers smell beautiful. I've never smelled anyone that smells as good as a sumo wrestler. Yep.
Well, I know I can tell by his look that Luke Harper definitely smells, but you got to bear in mind the Godwins were pig farmers. So I'm going to give the edge to the Godwins because we all know what pigs roll around in, and they were on the farm with them, and they brought farm animals to the ring with them, so I'm going to go with the Godwins.
Yeah, and you know who was really funny about that? Not Chavo Guerrero. Damn it. Who's the TNA Spanish announcer?
Mike Tenay?
No, the Spanish one. Hector Guerrero, right?
Yeah, Hector Guerrero, yeah.
Hector Guerrero, dude, listen to him. He is friggin' hilarious about wrestlers' smell and how they should take care of themselves. Like, I just sat there before an FIP show, early FIP, before they wanted to stab me in the balls with forks. But early FIP, when I helped them out, I just listened to Hector Guerrero, and he'd be like, listen, fucking this wrestler smells, this is what you're supposed to do. If you smell like shit, you're not a professional wrestler. I don't know. I wish Hector Guerrero would do a shoot interview about just smelly wrestlers, because it was by far one of the funniest rants I've ever heard in my life. All right. Bam. The Russians are pretty good wrestlers. They've won the most Olympic gold medals in wrestling. That's Ex-Yakuza. Yeah, but I was talking pro wrestling. But yeah, the Russians are an amazing wrestling team. Ex-Yakuza says John Cena has held the tag titles with Shawn Michaels in 2007. So there you go, Booms. Cena has held the tag team belt, according to Rob, a bunch of times. Cena, Shawn Michaels took it from Rated RKO. Cena, Batista defeated Rhodes and DiBiase. Cena and Otunga beat Rhodes and McIntyre. Cena and Miz beat Gabriel and Slater. All were tag belts, so we held the tag belt 4 times. Booms, do you want to do the YouTube thing and deny you were wrong, or do the man thing and just be like, hey, sometimes when you talk wrestling for 16 hours, you'll make mistakes. Which route?
Yeah, you did make mistakes. And plus, it was like 7 years ago, so cut me just a little bit of slack. And I didn't know that question was coming.
Text now. Do you think Booms manned up and took responsibility, or do you think he did the YouTube expert thing and just was a dick about it? Text now. A, for Booms was a dick, or B, he was a man and made a mistake. All right. Who texts anymore? All right. Yes, there has been one black champ, The Rock. Booker T has been world champ. Yes, that's not a lot, but you're going to make the face of your company, Kofi Kingston, or R-Truth. I don't see a difference. Kofi Kingston is a great athlete. Shelton Benjamin's a great athlete. R-Truth is a great athlete. Jack Swagger has been champion. Do you think he's better than Shelton Benjamin at cutting promos? R-Truth, why can't you push him in John Cena's gimmick? Like, you don't think R-Truth could be John Cena? You honestly don't think R-Truth could be John Cena? And Kofi Kingston is an amazing aerial guy. He's a great wrestler, and the fans love him. Now, is he good enough to be champ? At least once, maybe a short title run. But I don't see a difference between... I only see one difference. No, I think R-Truth is way better than John Cena. R-Truth was NWA champ. No. So, yeah. And Shelton Benjamin. You know, so there. I'm not saying that because they're black. I'm saying that because they're mid-card guys. Yeah, well, who decided that? Who decided that? Kofi doesn't come out like a main event guy. Yeah, Kofi I worry about, but he's so talented. If you pushed him and worked him right, you could probably get a short title run out of him. Kofi doesn't come out like that. He comes out like a fruit roll-up. I admit they fucked over R-Truth. Thank you, player guys. Like, we both agree on that. If they're just... and then Rob goes on to ask more question. Ewok says, America, fuck yeah. Mr. the King says, hey, Coco, love Brock Lesnar, always, except when he fought Taker. I'm a bigger Undertaker fan, but Brock is in my tops. I like John Cena, but he is now the new Albert Del Boring. I think that he is serious, but not when he is Captain America. All right. I'd like a Wrestle AM Total Divas review show, and that's Ewok from Endor. Ewok, why do you say such mean things, Ewok?
Well, Dave, you need to get right on it then. Come on, it's what the fans want. I mean, hell, you review Main Event, you review Superstars, you review NXT. What's Total Divas to you?
I will consider reviewing one show if we get enough feedback that wants it. Boom Boom will be the expert. I will do color. I will watch one Total Divas episode to do a review. But I want you to know I am sacrificing for the internet infantry. I am sacrificing for the internet infantry. If enough people want to see it, I'll watch it. But I can't imagine what I would say. I would just sit there and be like, you watch this? There would be a lot of making fun of Boom Boom, I assure you. So if there's enough interest in it, maybe. Why don't I turn it on and be like, that's the greatest thing ever. I was wrong. Like it's green eggs and ham. Like we do a review and I'm like, I'm going back to watch the whole. I don't see that happening. A lot of people praise Legends House and bash the Diva Show, and I thought the Legends House shit was boring, so I can't imagine.
I enjoyed Legends House. I hope they do a second season. I think that could be like a show in itself. Who would you cast for the second season of Legends House?
All right, and Rob says, "Boobs, you hear the people. The people want a total Diva show. I think it would get 20,000 views easily, as long as Dave doesn't sit naked in a shower and cry every show." That's what Ewok said. All right. Rob goes on, I'm looking for a new baseball team. I love the Mets. Aren't the Mets a baseball team? They sure as hell ain't a fucking, basketball team. They sure as, I don't know. Fuck you. I'm done. I was going to make a joke, but Rob fucking threw me off. Yeah, Gail Kim chart, too. I do have a Gail Kim chart, but it doesn't have coins in it. That was a masturbation joke that went awkwardly. X-Yakuza says, people hate John Cena so much because he gets handed everything in the WWE and he doesn't deserve any of it. The man simply can't wrestle. Ewok from Endor says, why does your sub jump over 5K and then fall back into a wall under 5K? It's really strange. It's happened a few times now. Yeah, it is really strange. I don't know why. We had this channel a long time ago with indie wrestling, and this is a really old channel, but we're a really new show. So the subscriber thing is really weird. But YouTube jumps all over the place. That's why I didn't want to really regret celebrating 5,000. Not that we had a big celebration anyway. But a lot of people, like 2 weeks ago, lost a lot of subscribers. I guess they're dead subscribers, or their accounts are not active, or maybe it's a more accurate count. I'm not really sure. But yeah, we went over 5,000, then we went to 5,800. Now this has all happened within 2 weeks, and I didn't do Fiverr or any sneaky tricks like that. But it went over 5,000, then it went to 4,200. But then you go look at our subscribers, and they're like, you gained 300 subscribers. And I'm like, no, 5,800 subscribers to 4,200 subscribers is not an additional 200. I'm sorry, YouTube, that's bad math. We're at 4,953. We'll just celebrate 5,000 subscribers every other week. But yeah, hopefully we just keep growing and have an active community. I don't know. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm looking forward to Kevin Steen. Me too. All right, player dies. Whoa, Dave. Let's slow down here. I don't love John Cena, but I think he just gets too much hate on his in-ring work. His promos are almost always ass, and he does bury some people. Intentional or unintentional, I don't know. I'm 16 and started watching 07. I think his matches nowadays, I like his matches nowadays. Sorry, I'm squinting here. But I don't want him to be champ either. Don't go saying that shit. I have a reputation to keep around here. I want to apologize, player dies. I know you defend John Cena, and I just took it as you are a John Cena guy. I do want to apologize. Sometimes you make bad mistakes. That was one of them. I'm sorry. Player dies. I hope you have it in your heart to forgive me. Tiffany Nikki says, do you believe that WWE storylines are too complicated or have major plot holes? I believe so, and I think they only have one important title. Yeah, I think that's a huge thing that me and Boom Boom hit on a lot. They have a lot of plot holes, and they don't have pride in what they do. And I think the simpler the storyline, the better it is. I mean, I still think the best booked company in the world is UFC. Go watch a UFC preview show, and you'll be like, holy shit, I want to see who wins this fight. Then go watch WWE promos. I think they're embarrassed of pro wrestling, and I think they're willing to just give up on storylines. And the king of this is Kane. I don't think it's too complicated. I just think, maybe it is too complicated, but it's just they try to do something and then forget about it, and oh, the fans will forget about it. And it's kind of an insult. You shouldn't insult your fans. Booms, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I just think the WWE creative tends to put people. Basically, they set these guys up for failure. They don't know who they are. They put them in bad situations. They put them in situations where they don't excel. Curtis Axel was one of those. They did not play to his strength. They tried to play him up as Mr. Perfect Jr., and he is nothing like his dad. And so, in a way, I believe they kind of set him up for failure. They do that with a lot of other people. Um, Adam Rose is someone who's fallen a victim to it. Paige has fallen victim to it. They just throw them out there and they're like, okay, get over. You know, it's like, but dude, you have to set them up for success. If they can't get over on their own merits after a certain point, yes, it's their fault, but you can't put them in a losing situation and be like, well, see, they just didn't get over. They don't have the it factor. Let's put the belt back on John Cena. You have to build these people up, and so that's why their storylines. And sometimes they'll change things. They'll like make people face or make people heel because fuck it, why not? There's no actual point behind it other than just to do it. They're like, okay, we'll do this, then we're going to figure out later where we're going with it, when they should have gone, okay, here's where we're at right now, here's where we want to go, here's how we're going to make this happen. They don't have that. They just go, okay, we're going to turn, I'm just throwing out something random here, Paige heel. Well, why? Well, we'll figure it out after we turn her heel. We'll find some direction to go. No, you need to know now why you're turning her heel and where you want to go with it. I feel like WWE doesn't do that.
The biggest problem is I've worked with FCW Creative. I met WWE Creative guys before. And the biggest problem is that they have this attitude of if you question anything about the storyline, they're like, oh, what does it matter? It's just pro wrestling. And there's some in TNA Creative that thinks that too. But if you go to a Futurama writer, or if you go to someone else, a comic book writer or a novelist, they're not going to say, oh, it's just a book. Oh, it's just a TV show. WWE and some people in TNA, not all people in TNA, some people in TNA and some people in WWE, they don't take pride in being pro wrestling. And when they'll just sit in the back and like, oh, it's just pro wrestling. What does it matter? And that's a legit attitude that they have. So I think that's a huge problem. All right. How many more questions you want to go, Booms?
Just let's go and wrap it up. I've got to go to bed in just a second.
All right. Last three. We'll be quick. All right. Do you think, Tiffany, Nikki, do you think WWE should bring back the WA Cruiserweight Champion? Yes, name 3 guys you should sign to improve the Cruiserweight division. I think they already have them. I don't think they need to sign anyone. I mean, obviously, the more guys they sign, the better. But, yeah, I would love an all-Cruiserweight show. When they promised the network to us, the fans, they mentioned it would be an all-Cruiserweight show. So, yeah, I'd love that. Ewok from Endor. I can imagine Dave start shaking when he hears the Total Diva theme music. Last one, Rob, who will be doing a weekend review, and I take it, Boom Boom, you're too tired to be joining our weekend review, but we will be doing a weekend review soon. Rob says, last question, any other question, we'll answer in comments or a future one, or just ask him during our weekend review. Rob says, will you be inviting Booms to the first ever Turkey Mania? All right, Rob has told this bad joke about how I go into a coma and wake up and my daughter married John Cena, and we wrestle every Thanksgiving. It was a horrible story and a horrible joke, but the internet imagery has ran with it. I don't know if you watch the shows you're not part of.
Turkey Mania, is that before or after Tire Mania?
Yes. They compete head to head. But, yeah, there you go. Thank you. That's the best question we can answer. Booms! The spotlight is on you. Make magic happen, and let's wrap this bad boy up.
All right, let's make some magic happen, and you can make that happen by visiting us at KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes mixed martial arts, boxing, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling. Hey, we've even got some taekwondo, some other forms of martial arts you've never even heard of. They're on there on that site, so be sure to check it out 24/7 at KocoSports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
And I want to thank the Internet Imagery for all the live comments, all the questions in there. If we get enough questions, maybe we'll do another Stump the Idiot. And I want to thank you for all the subscribers, the activity, and we keep growing. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Boom Boom, for saving Nebraska every day and still wind up talking pro wrestling. And I'm a disgusting human being. Go to KocoSports.com. We are working so hard on it. Thank you, Jerry, Pablo, David Cooey. And, well, Boom Boom shows up to talk about wrestling. I love you, Boom Boom. Thank you for staying up so late and answering questions with us. Me and Rob will be doing a weekend review very shortly, so stand by. I will tweet it, I will Facebook it, and I will maybe put a link down in the doobly-doo if there is time. All right, thank you so much. Go to KocoSports.com, and with that, I am over.